Have you ever felt like you're pouring your heart and soul into a relationship, only to realize you're just a bit player in someone else's story? It's a common truth that many of us face, but often we brush it aside, telling ourselves it's just how things are. But here's the wake-up call: it shouldn't be this way. You are not a placeholder, a stepping stone, or a temporary fix for someone's needs. Today, we're going to dig into the subtle signs, often overlooked, that you're being used in a relationship. This isn't just about the big betrayals. It's about those little moments and patterns that slowly chip away at your self-worth. By the end of this video, you'll not only be able to spot these red flags, but also have the tools to steer your course back to a place where your value is recognized and cherished. Because you deserve relationships that are genuine, reciprocal, and respectful. So let's uncover these hidden truths together and take the first step towards transforming how we see ourselves and our connections with others. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be a turning point in how you navigate your relationships with others. Before we dive in, I urge you to click the like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more eye-opening content. Remember, watching the whole video without skipping is key to getting the full picture and making a meaningful change in your relationships. First sign: one-sided effort examined. This is a common experience in relationships where we find ourselves always giving, supporting, and reaching out. This lopsidedness, where one person consistently puts in more effort than the other, can leave you feeling unappreciated and emotionally drained. It's like you're rowing a boat alone while the other person is just along for the ride. This situation reminds me of a powerful quote: "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Sometimes we might ignore this imbalance out of fear of losing the relationship, even when it's causing us more harm than good. The one-sided effort is a clear sign of an unbalanced relationship. Another wise person once said, "Never value anything as profitable to your character as that which forces you to break your promise, to lose your self-respect, to hate, suspect, curse, act the hypocrite, or desire things that require walls and curtains." This is especially true when we consider the dynamics of a one-sided relationship. If you find yourself compromising your values, your dignity, and your peace of mind to maintain a relationship, it's worth questioning its value in your life. In these relationships, you are the one making all the plans, initiating communication, and often making excuses for the other person's lack of effort. This constant imbalance can lead to a buildup of resentment and a feeling of loneliness even when you are not technically alone. As another great thinker said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In a one-sided relationship, you might find yourself doing all the talking with very little active listening or engagement from the other person. In the world of psychology, this imbalance is recognized as a potential source of emotional distress. It's important to remember that a healthy relationship involves mutual effort and give and take. When this balance is missing, the relationship can feel more like a burden than a source of joy and support. It's important to recognize your worth and not settle for a relationship that leaves you feeling undervalued and unappreciated. As you navigate these waters, remember that your well-being and self-respect should always be a priority. Recognizing and addressing the issue of one-sided effort is a crucial step toward healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Second sign: selective availability in the spotlight. Selective availability in relationships is a sign that things are skewed heavily in one favor. It's a situation that many of us have faced: a friend or loved one who is always ready to receive support but seldom available to give it. This kind of relationship reminds me of the words of a wise person who said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." However, in the case of selective availability, this opportunity seems to be a one-way street. This behavior is a reflection of a relationship where convenience outweighs genuine care and reciprocity. When someone is only present in your life when it suits them or when they stand to benefit, it points towards a lack of genuine commitment and concern. Another insightful person once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective is particularly useful here. It suggests that your response to selective availability is crucial. Your response to selective availability is crucial. It's about recognizing your worth and not allowing yourself to be treated as an option rather than a priority. Selective availability isn't just about physical presence. It's also about emotional availability. When you're always the one offering a listening ear or a shoulder to cry on, but find the same support missing when you need it, it's a clear indicator of imbalance. This lack of reciprocity can lead to feelings of loneliness and frustration. It reminds me of the words of another great thinker: "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." In a balanced relationship, this saying applies to both parties. But in selectively available relationships, you might find yourself perpetually on the listening end. From the perspective of psychology, reciprocal social support is essential for healthy relationships. The concept of reciprocity is ingrained in our social interactions and is vital for building trust and emotional security. When this reciprocity is absent, it can lead to emotional strain and a decrease in self-esteem. It's important to recognize when you're in such a dynamic and to take steps to address it. This might involve open communication about your needs and feelings, setting boundaries, or reevaluating the relationship altogether as you navigate these challenging situations. Remember the words of another wise person: "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." In other words, instead of responding with bitterness or becoming similarly unavailable, strive to uphold your values and seek relationships that are more balanced and fulfilling. Third sign: absence of genuine interest exposed. A core issue in relationships is the absence of genuine interest. True connection thrives on a two-way exchange, a mutual interest in each other's lives, emotions, and experiences. This is the opposite of a relationship where one party shows little to no interest in the other's life. A situation that might have been seen by a great philosopher as a failure to achieve a friendship of virtue, where mutual appreciation and good qualities are key. This lack of genuine interest is often a clear sign that the relationship is more transactional than authentic. A different wise person might have commented on this imbalance by highlighting the importance of mutual benefit in any interaction. They believe that relationships should not be based solely on what one can gain from the other, but on mutual respect and benefit. When someone shows no interest in your personal well-being, aspirations, or struggles, it indicates a lack of empathy and a disregard for the fundamental aspects of a meaningful relationship. Another great thinker, with his deep insights into human nature, might have seen this as a failure to recognize the true form of friendship, the ideal perfect version of it. In his view, real relationships should reflect a deeper understanding and connection between individuals. When this depth is missing, the relationship becomes a shadow of what it could truly be. Moreover, the lack of genuine interest in someone's life can lead to feelings of isolation and insignificance. It contradicts the basic human need for connection and understanding, something another psychologist emphasized in his theories. He believed that meaningful connections with others were an essential part of individual development and self-realization. In the philosophy of another thinker, the focus is on what is within our control and letting go of what isn't, especially in the context of relationships. This means recognizing when a relationship lacks genuine interest and understanding that we cannot force someone to show this interest. Instead, we should focus on cultivating relationships that are enriching and mutually supportive. Another great thinker, known for his method of deep questioning, might have encouraged us to question the nature of our relationships constantly. Are they based on mutual respect and interest, or are they one-sided? This constant inquiry can help us navigate towards healthier and more balanced relationships. Fourth sign: emotional manipulation unveiled. Emotional manipulation is a critical concern in any relationship. It occurs when one person uses guilt, emotional pressure, or even subtle coercion to influence the other's actions. This form of manipulation is particularly dangerous because it exploits the victim's compassion and empathy, often making them question their own feelings and motivations. The philosophy of another thinker offers a lens through which to view this behavior. He taught that external events are beyond our control, but we can control our responses to them. In the context of emotional manipulation, This means recognizing the manipulative behavior for what it is and choosing not to let it dictate your actions or question your self-worth. Another philosopher focused on the importance of acting in accordance with one's own nature and reason. When faced with emotional manipulation, it's essential to stay true to yourself rather than being swayed by someone else's attempt to exploit your emotions. A contemporary of the previous thinker often spoke of the tranquility of the mind. He might have seen emotional manipulation as a direct threat to this tranquility, a force that disrupts our inner harmony and clarity. From his perspective, recognizing and resisting emotional manipulation is key to maintaining our mental and emotional equilibrium. From the perspective of psychology, emotional manipulation can have significant negative effects on an individual's mental health. It can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and even depression. A pioneer of psychology believed in the importance of individuation, the process of understanding and integrating one's own psyche. In a situation of emotional manipulation, this means recognizing the manipulation and reaffirming your own thoughts, feelings, and values. Another philosopher's concept of practical wisdom is also relevant here. It involves not only understanding what constitutes a good or bad state, but also being able to deliberate about how to achieve it in cases of emotional manipulation. Practical wisdom would involve seeing the manipulation for what it is and understanding the best way to respond or remove oneself from the situation. Another great thinker might have viewed emotional manipulation as a corruption of the soul, a force that distorts truth and reality. In his dialogues, he often explored the idea of justice and truth, and emotional manipulation would likely have been antithetical to these ideals in his view. Fifth sign, disregard for boundaries exposed. The fifth sign of a problematic relationship is the disregard for boundaries. This happens when one party consistently oversteps or ignores the limits set by the other. This lack of respect for personal boundaries can manifest in various ways, like constantly changing plans, expecting you to be always available, or dismissing your needs and preferences. This behavior is not only disrespectful but also detrimental to the foundation of any healthy relationship. In the realm of Stoic philosophy, the teachings of another thinker offer valuable insight into this issue. He emphasized the importance of respecting oneself and others. He believed in the dignity of each individual and the need to honor that dignity in our interactions. From his perspective, allowing someone to repeatedly disregard your boundaries is inconsistent with maintaining self-respect and personal integrity. Similarly, another wise person spoke about the balance between self-preservation and the duties we owe to others. They would likely view the disrespect of boundaries as a violation of this balance. In a healthy relationship, there should be a mutual respect for each other's time, space, and individuality. When these are continuously disregarded, the relationship becomes one-sided and harmful. Another thinker, known for his teachings on controlling one's own responses and actions, would advise individuals in such situations to remember that their reactions and boundaries are within their control. They would likely encourage a person to assert and maintain their boundaries firmly, reminding them that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control how we respond and uphold our own limits. From a psychological perspective, another psychologist's concept of individuation involves understanding and integrating various aspects of oneself. Respecting and asserting one's boundaries is a crucial part of this process. When boundaries are continuously ignored, it can hinder personal growth and lead to feelings of frustration and a loss of identity. Another philosopher's notion of the golden mean, the desirable middle ground between two extremes, can also be applied to the concept of boundaries. In any relationship, there should be a balance between flexibility and firmness. A complete disregard for boundaries represents an extreme that disrupts this balance, leading to an unhealthy dynamic. Remember, you deserve relationships built on mutual respect, reciprocity, and genuine connection. Don't settle for anything less. By recognizing these signs and prioritizing your well-being, you can navigate towards relationships that uplift and empower you. Thank you for watching.